Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hello, Kara. Hello, Sanli.
Hi.
Well, there are only two of you. I thought there'll be more. So we give a few more minutes for them to come.
Okay.
Well, I'm still in here. My flight was canceled, so I'm still in Denver. So it's 4 in the morning right now.
Oh, that's very early.
But that's fine. Welcome, Anna.
Yeah. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning to you.
Sir, thank you.
So let's give one more minute and we will start.
Okay.
So Anna, you are already back, or are you still in the US?
Still in Utah, sir.
I see.
It's 4 in the morning as well.
That's right. Okay. Now let's just give one more minute and we'll start.
Okay.
Okay, maybe we can start and the others can join. Thank you, Maricel, for joining. So today I want to have a little bit of class activities, but I'll focus about the internet, which is the last week topic. I think it's still appropriate because some of your classmates, some of you also have not worked on that unit yet. All right, so we'll start. I'm going to start with the prayer. Let's pray. Father in heaven, please be with us as we have a class, and thank you, Father, for your blessings to each one of us. And thank you for taking care of us wherever we are. And we like to praise you, Lord, for this opportunity that we have to meet, be us with our friends who are not yet here. And may you be with us in this session. Thank you, Father, for everything. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, like I said, I'm going to spend about 1 hour just to discuss about the last week topic, which is about the internet and the web. Now, I have prepared some kind of presentation. It's an interactive one, and you can join with me if you want. You can actually go to that link. I just put it there, and the password will be this one. So I want you to join this. Just type there join.nearpod.com, and the password to that presentation, interactive presentation, is S5LHW. Let me know if you are able to do that. You can minimize your Zoom. You don't need to see the Zoom because you can actually see the presentations, my presentations there. Are you able to see? You have to write your name. You can write a nickname. So you can do that. All right, Lovena is here. Welcome, Lovena. We're about to start. So let me just send again the link. I want you to click that link and type in the code to enter the interaction, the presentation, interactive presentation that I have prepared. And that's the password. So you can just click the link that I gave in the chat, and then you can write your name, just a nickname, that's fine. And then you can enter. All right. So let me see right now. I have about 2 of you. I see Anne there and Kara. Let's wait for Sanli and Lovena. Okay, Sanli's there. Lovena, were you able to follow the instruction? Just click the link, type in the number or the code, which is S5. Wait, is it 5 or 6? Yeah, it's 5, I think, yeah. S5LHW.
I click the link.
Were you able to see the link? It's in the chat.
Okay. Full name.
Oh yeah, just write any, your name, Lovena, and any nickname.
And
All right.
okay, join the
If you are
Zoom.
there. Right now, I have 3 of you there. I have okay, Lovena, you now you have now joined.
Communication and education.
Okay, all right. So let's start. So I'm going to be focusing on this topic. This is basically about last week, that topic. I thought, I think it's appropriate to talk about it a little bit about the internet and the web. So, telecommunication is very important. By the way, you can see the presentations is changing in your web on your browser, is it? So, why I talk about telecommunication? Because the internet and the website or the web, it's actually under telecommunication technologies, and telecommunications is defined as communication at a distance, according to Merriam-Webster. So that's whether we have the old telephone system or now we have the internet. The the definition of telecommunication is basically you communicate at a distance. And in the past, telecommunication was analog. If you remember analog with the old phone, analog is using an electrical wave of sound used by telephone technology for many years. And, have you tried that science experiment? You use a cup and then you put a string to the other side, and the other side you have a cup. So basically, it's an analog system. When the sound of your voice is transferred from one place to another using that wave of sound, and then the electricity brought that sounds across even across countries. So that's the analog system. But today, we have what we call it digital telecommunications, which is using electric poles to represent data used by computer. This is the one that used by 0 and 1. Don't worry about that. If you're, I don't want to go into technical. 0 and 1 is basically, you see that in the digital system. And now, both of these technology are still used. How? Because many of the telephone systems are using analog and they don't want to change that, while the computer systems today is using digital. So in order for it to connect, you have to use a modem, right? Modem is called modulator and demodulator. That's the adapter of changing analog to digital and then digital to analog. That's what the word modem comes, the term models is for, to transfer the analog. First is digital from your computer to analog so that it can pass by the telephone cable. And then when it reaches the other side, then it has to be transferred again to digital so that your computer can read it, whether it's a sound or many things. So the telecommunication technologies, the main technologies today, especially in the computer technologies, the fastest growth of computer technologies today are the telecommunication technologies, and these are what we call it the networks and the internets. They are the main one. So you can follow my presentations, okay, from the link that I gave you. Maybe I should share here just in case, because we are recorded. You're right, I need to do that. Let me just do that so that those who are watching can also see. Okay, but I want you to follow the one in your browser. Okay, let me first, let me hide the student names so that you will not be able to see later on. So let's talk about the internet, okay? So I want to do what we call it in the face-to-face KWL strategies. What do you know about the internet, which is the today's telecommunication technologies? Okay, let's ask about what do you know about the internet? And I want you to do that by participating in the, you don't have to talk, you just have to write it. So I want you to go to that nearpod.com and I want you to write, to list down things you know about the internet. Don't worry if it's right or wrong. Just write, you can write up to 5 maybe, 5, anything that you want to know, or things that you know, okay, that you know now about the internet. Okay, I see that one. By the way, I hide your name so that it's and then you'll not, even your classmate will not be able to see. So there's one of you wrote there, the internet is a network. Okay, don't worry if it's right or wrong. Just continue writing. You can write up to 5 or even more. So what do you know about the internet? I want to know what are the things that you know about the internet already. So we have one post, the internet is a network. Okay. Some more? You can write one by one. Okay, the internet can be accessed by anyone who has a network connection. That's very close to a definition. All right. Anything else? You don't have to worry about grammar. Just type there. You can even write just 2 words. Don't worry about it. You don't have to repeat. The internet is. All right. So there are 2 posts. Internet makes work easy. Okay. The internet is a collection of media, information, documents that is shared. All right. Some more. Okay. Write everything that you know about the internet? Okay, you can upload things to the internet and you can download things from the internet. All right. Okay. Internet is a communication. That's right. And if you want to talk, feel free to unmute yourself and then you can also talk. If you feel that talking is faster, you can do that too. It's like a web of connection. All right. Anyone would like to say something? You can also do that. Response the needs information to the human. Okay, interesting. One can use the internet for many different purposes. That's very true, isn't it? As we see today, it can be used in different fields: business, education, medical, and many other. Maybe I'll give you some more time. Anything else? Anything that you know about the internet? Maybe 1 minute more. And if you want to say it, feel free to say it. I can type it for you. No more? Okay. Maybe 30 seconds, some more. Internet is a door that opens us to a different world. Okay. It's a protocol. Okay. Protocols are used to locate things on the internet. Okay. We may talk about it later on. All right. Okay. So let's go on. All right. So this is what you know about the internet. Okay. What I want now to go is about what you want to know. Okay, so what you know we have written here, and what you want to know. All right, same thing. You can write down there, or you can say it now. Just unmute yourself, and I can help type it. So, what do you want to know about the internet? Don't worry, there's no silly question. Feel free to ask anything. I may not know the answer, but you can write anything you want to know about the internet. I know that the internet is something that everybody knows, but there are things that you might want to know about the internet. Who designed and developed it? That's a good question, isn't it? The who is there. You can see the why, the how, the where, the what. That's a good question. Who designed and developed the internet? What are the limitations of the internet? Okay, that's a very good question. Some more? When was it released? I know this was in the lecture, but I forgot. Okay, that's fine. That's why we are reviewing this unit, because I thought it's very important. All right. What else? You can also ask more questions. Don't worry, your name will not be shown there. I put it as a hidden. That's why you can see the asterisk. That means your names are hidden. Of course, I can see who are you, but to your classmates, they're hidden. Okay, and there, how much information is on the internet? Okay, and how does the information travel from one screen to another? Okay, federal laws. I'm assuming this is U.S. federal concerning internet. Okay, this is getting heavier. The questions, some more. I'll give you maybe about 1 minute more. Feel free to just write anything, and later on we come back and check if we are able to answer all of these questions later on. And if you want to just say it, you can just unmute yourself and talk about it. That's it? You don't have any other more questions? How many different internet browsers are there? Okay, that's an interesting question. Okay, 30 seconds. All right. So these are the things that you want to know about the internet. Now we will go to a short interactive lecture, and let's see if anything that you have known about the internet, are they really correct? And we will also try to answer this question that you have about what you want to know through a short and interactive lecture. All right. The first thing I want you to do, first is what is the internet? Well, the basic definition of the internet is it is network of networks. That's the short definition of the internet. Or sometimes it is called a worldwide collection of networks. So the internet is basically a network, but it is connecting many networks. In fact, it's a worldwide networks. And the internet is constituted by various networks who agree to connect together to make massive network. For example, IS is a campus, and we have our own network. And IS agreed to connect to the internet, so therefore IS connects to the larger networks, and the same thing also. These other networks, they can connect to each other, and this can be made possible by the telecom companies. If you are in Philippines, that's I'm talking about the Globe or Smart PLDT, and if it's in the US, you have these AT&T, what you call that, T-Mobile, or Verizon, and many and so on. I don't know about in Taiwan or in where you are. So this is why and how the internet is it's connected. So the next one is, how does internet work? Now I have about 4 minutes video. I thought it's very nice video that I want you to watch to explain about the internet. Okay, so let's just watch. I'm gonna play it, and then you can watch it together. Just about 3 to 4 minutes.
Hi all, in today's video we'll talk about the internet and find out how it works. If you thought that the internet works by satellite, find out that you were wrong. So how does the internet work and where does it come from? Before starting this video, don't forget to activate the subtitles and smash the like button. The internet is everywhere but still nowhere. He is on the phone, TV, or computer, but where exactly does he come from? Every time you receive a notification, access a site, or send an email, the data is sent via cables that are found all over the globe and so reach the recipient. The data you want to access on the internet is very far away from you and is stored at companies such as Google, Facebook, or other hosting companies. From here, your data may be transmitted to you via a satellite. But this is useless because the bandwidth of a satellite is very limited and leads to long delays. So what's the solution? Well, find out that data on the internet circulates mostly through fiber optic cables that cross the earth under seas and oceans, among sharks and other strange creatures. The cables are very, very thick to protect the optical fiber inside, which is very fragile and sensitive. These cables are connected to landing stations located on the shores of the oceans, and from there, the internet goes to an entire continent, forming a huge network.
All right. Try to participate with just a little multiple choice activity. So the main connection of the internet is using what? A, intercontinental fiber optic cables. B, space satellite connection, or home Wi-Fi, infrared laser. Which one?
Okay.
Just click there. You can click there. You can participate. All right. So, many people click space satellite connection. All right. Okay. Is this correct? Well, the main connection of the internet. Let me share the solution. So many of you chose a space satellite connection. The truth is, the main connection of the internet is not using satellite because it's too slow. In fact, they use intercontinental, meaning they really pull a cable from one country to another country. Meaning there is a cable from US to Europe through the Atlantic Ocean. You watched that video before? So they use that cable. Why? Because satellite is too slow. In fact, under ocean, there are a lot of cables. There's a cable from Philippines to Taiwan. You know that, and Taiwan to Hong Kong and to China. Underwater, there is also from South Philippines to Indonesia to Malaysia, Indonesia to Singapore. All of these are intercontinental fiber optic cables. All are under ocean. These are the main connection, the backbone of the internet. How is it made possible? Of course, those telecom company, they spend billions of dollars to make sure that they connect from one country to another. That's why when you send an email, it will pass through all of these cables under the ocean. Okay, so the main connection of the internet is using intercontinental fiber optics. All right, let's continue.
If we found out where the internet comes from, now let's see how it works. To better understand, let's take a concrete case. Let's say you want to access certain data from the internet from a phone or a laptop that is connected to the internet via cable or Wi-Fi via a router. The data you want to access, for example, a video on YouTube, is stored in a data center on an SSD of a server. But how does this data get to you? Any device connected to the internet is identified by a unique group of numbers called the IP address. And the IP address of your phone or laptop, for example, is given by your internet service provider. Also, the server where the data you want to access is stored also has an IP address. So, through the IP, the information has a sender and a recipient. Moreover,
all right, another question there. A unique address that is used on the internet to find any devices connected to the internet is what? You can choose. All right. I think all of you got it correct. It's the IP address. IP address is so unique that there is no same IP address alike, meaning that it's so unique that there's always different. By the way, we have somebody here. Micheline. Okay, Micheline, if you want to join us, you have to go to the. I don't know that there are many people joining now. So let me just give the chat. Go to the Nearpod, join nearpod.com, and then enter the password there, S5LHW. Then you can join the interactive presentation that we have right now. So that is the unique address. We call it the Internet Protocol address, or we call it IP address. Okay, so let's continue.
Moreover, if you want to access Google.com, for example, it also has an IP address hidden under a domain name to be easier to use. Because for us humans, it's much easier for us to remember Google.com than to remember numbers like 105.39.4.284. This is where DNS technology comes in, which works like a phone book. Specifically, DNS associates a name for each website IP address in the world. From here, this data request that you made is transmitted to the respective server, and the data transfer to you starts. The data flows through the fiber optic cable system in the form of light pulses and thus reaches your router. From here, the data is transmitted by the router in the form of electrical signals via internet cable or Wi-Fi. But what if you use the internet through mobile data? Well, the signal is transmitted through the same optical cables to a cell tower, and from here, the internet is transmitted to you in the form of electromagnetic waves.
All right, so what is the latest generation of cellular network technology? 3G, 4G, 5G, or 6G? Which is third generation, fourth generation, fifth generation, sixth generation? All right, so I can see that half of you answer. So yes, 5G is the latest generation of cellular network technology. It allows the mobile, phone to transmit data with a very fast, what you call speed transfer. So that is the difference. So 5G means the fifth generation, is a fourth generation. I think that's the people are still using now. So the idea is that using 5G, the internet is so fast as you can use with the cable, using the radio transfer. All right, let's go next now. So that is about the internet. How about the history of the internet? There was no question about that, but there's a history about the internet. I think that we need to learn. All right, just for me to have a pause. In what decade was the internet invented? What do you think? Just make a guess. Don't worry, right or wrong. Just make a guess. Okay. I mean, I know you can Google it, but for now, don't ask Google. Just guess. When do you think the internet was invented? Okay. All right. There are more. Okay, I'm gonna share it, and this is how it looks like. By the way, I hide the names, so you don't see the names. So, all right. So many of you said it's D. What is D again? D is 19. My eyes is killing me. 1980s. Okay. There is one that says it's 1970s, and there is one that says is E. E is 1990s. That is very interesting. Okay, we'll just so have that in mind. So majority of you think that it's the internet invented in 1980s, and then one student for B 1960s, and then C 70s, and E 1990s. Okay, let's look at the some of the facts. Okay, all right. Well, the truth is the internet started because of the Sputnik event. How many of you know what is Sputnik? Now, I know the American call it Sputnik, but I like how the Russian call it because it is from Russia. It's Sputnik. How many of you know what is Sputnik? Anyone? You can unmute yourself and then answer. This is a big event that actually somehow contributed to the development of the internet. All right, Sputnik is actually a satellite. In fact, it's the first ever satellite sent to the space. Now, of course, there are thousands of satellites out there in the space. But before those satellites, Sputnik is the first satellite. And why is so important? Because it was sent by the Russian or the USSR. And it was a big slap to the US, because they thought that they are the smartest and the fastest. So it was a big slap because why the USSR was able to send something on the space, especially as a satellite. And that created especially this is happened during the Cold War. If you remember, maybe some of you were not yet born, I think. We were not born. Nobody was born in 1969, I think. In fact, Sputnik was launched even before 69, 1950s, in fact. That creates what we call it space war. The idea is that, or not only space war, technology war. They want to be able to do something that is better. So the US thought that with the satellite up there, it means that Russia can now send nuclear bomb to US directly from space. So that's why they have to think how to make sure that there is a connection between cities in the United States. So they have created what we call it ARPA, the Advanced Research Project Agency. This is the former CIA. Right now it's called Central Intelligence Agency, but before it was the military. They call it ARPA, the Advanced Research Project Agency, and they thought about it and they said, look, if Russia sent a nuclear bomb to US, then we should be able to fight back, and we have to make sure that there's a connection between our cities, and that's how the internet was started. The network started. So the main goal of the internet during that time is for sharing information, and of course, it is for military defense. It was not for education. The internet was not created for education. It was not created for science experiments. It was not created for business. It's not created for medical technology. It was created for defense. It was out of survival because they wanted to make sure that if they are attacked, they were able to retaliate, to fight back. So that's why they created a network. And this is what they call it, the first internet or the first network, which is ARPANET. And at that time, in 1969, it connects 4 computers in the 4 different areas in the USA. And they were so happy, they were able to connect. And that's how networks start. And many literature said that this is the first internet. So 1960s, actually, the first internet. So not 1970s, not 1980s, okay, not 1990s. The internet was created in 1960s. Actually, the end of 1960s. So later on, the research on network was expanded by other institutions, especially after the USSR fell. And one of the largest network was called NSF, that's the National Science Foundation Network. And then when ARPANET and NFNet merged in 1986, that was considered the first internet by many, of course, but there's a debate. Many people said it's the ARPANET 1960s, but sometimes they say no, it's 1980s, because the one in ARPANET is more like a network instead of internet. But remember, that's the first connection between 4 networks in the 4 different cities in the USA. So Sputnik led the event that made the USA to create an internet. And the purpose was to share information and also also for military defense. So, today there are millions of networks joined into the internet, and IS network is one of them. And not only that, there are also other events that contributed to the growth of the internet. For example, email. Email was created actually a little bit later by Ray Tomlinson in 1971. And then personal computer. Remember, before computer is in the office, right? Personal computer was developed by Steve Jobs. Remember, in 1980s. Without personal computer, internet will not be too it will not be so useful, isn't it? And the web was created in 1990s. Many times people confuse the web and the internet. They are different. The web was created later. The internet was created long time before, and the web was created in 1990s. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So there are many internet services. One of the most popular internet service is the web. So the web is basically the face of the internet. is the most popular service of the internet. It is used for access to information. And then email is another most popular service today. And then, of course, instant messaging and chat rooms. It was popularized once by AOL, Yahoo Messenger, and IRC. I don't know if you remember those internet telephony, video conference, and file transfer protocol. However, all of this, email, messaging, chat room, video conference, now you can use them all on the web, through a browser. This is amazing, isn't it? That's why the web is the most popular internet service today, because now you can do all of these file transfer. Before, there's a software for file transfer. Before, there's a software for email. Before, there's a software for instant messaging. But now everything you can do on the web. So if you want to see the internet world stats, you can go to this website. It is, you can see how many people are using the internet by region, by continents, or by countries. You can actually go there and see. Okay, so I think I will not go there. I'll just, you can just go and check. And then we'll talk about the web, which is very, very important. Now, the web is different with the internet. Please don't get it confused. The web is sometimes called WWW, or the World Wide Web. So this is a service, one of the services of the internet. The main use is to access to resources and information. Okay, so what is the web? The web is actually collection of electronic sites worldwide. So each site is called website, and inside the website we have web pages. For example, you could there IES website. You have a IES homepage, and then there's inside pages. You have pages for admission. You have pages about graduate school. You have pages about, and all of these pages, if you combine them, they become a website. And that website is just one of billions of websites out there in the world. So the web, it is a collection of electronic documents or electronic sites worldwide. It can contain text, it can contain sound, the web can contain image, video, etc. That's why you can see that through browser, isn't it? There are many browsers, of course. The most popular now is Google Chrome, isn't it? There is also Mozilla Firefox. There is Safari for Mac users, and many other. There are many other. The first one was Netscape Navigator. I don't know if you have used that before, but I think Netscape Navigator is already dead. There is one that made by Microsoft. It's called Internet Explorer. I don't know if everyone's still using that, but it's still there. So the web, to access the web, you have to use the IP address. You remember the video that we watched? The IP address is a unique address that will give the address of that website, but because people cannot remember it, and they use what they call DNS server or domain name server to change the domain, so that when you type www.is.edu, it will search that IP address. So there is like a server that will say, oh, if somebody type www.is.edu, it will direct them to that IP address. So the history of the website, this is very important. The internet was not easy to use before. So in 1989, Timothy, or shortened called Tim Berners-Lee, started a project of creating hypertext documents. How many of you have heard Tim Berners-Lee before this lecture? Never? How many of you have heard Bill Gates? Raise your hand. Bill Gates, okay? All right, how about Steve Jobs? Okay. But how many of you know Tim Berners-Lee? Well, let me tell you something. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, they make money out of us, isn't it? Tim Berners-Lee created the web for free, and nobody remembers him. So please, after this class, I want you to remember him. Okay, Tim Berners-Lee created the web that you've been using every day for free. Imagine if he charged, he will be the richest man in the world today. That shows, even though he's not Christian, but that shows the Christian act, Tim Berners-Lee, every time I teach in social media, I always ask this because I don't want you to finish in social media class without knowing this name. Please remember this name. If you know Tim, if you know Steve Jobs, if you know Bill Gates, remember this guy. He was the one who created the web. That's why you can search Facebook. That's why you can search. He won Nobel Prize, of course, but very few people remember his name. He created the web in 1989, and he launched it in 1991. And he used what they call it the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, which is the HTTP. That's why every time you type a website, there's always HTTP, right? Hypertext HTTP dot slash and then www and then dot, okay, and so on. So Tim Berners-Lee created the web. So how the web works, I think it's already explained. I'm not gonna go through this one. So it's basically somebody made a website through coding, like IS website, and then they put it that documents on the server, and then people can access that through the internet. Okay, so it means that the server has to be turned on 24 hours, 7 days a week, 364 days a year. You cannot turn it off because somebody is accessing that website. So the website is developed by somebody and then is uploaded in the server, and now everybody can access it if they know the right domain name. So that's how the web works. And that's the IP address and domain name. How many of you know how much is a domain name cost? Anyone? To register a domain name. I'm not going to make you a businessman, okay? But how many of you know how much to develop to register a domain name? How many of you think that is $1,000? Raise your hand. No? $500? No? $100? Okay, somebody put in the chat. Let me check. It depends. It's up to 20,000. Okay, that's interesting. All right. How many of you think that is higher than $100? Raise your hand. It's lower than $100. Okay. Well, the truth is, to register a domain name, you can actually pay $8 or a little bit more. It's not hosting. I'm just talking to pay that name only. But let me tell you a story about how important a domain name is. This is a real story. Pastor Hardinge, who was the pastor in Florida, he bought BibleInfo.com. I think have you visited BibleInfo.com? It was bought by an Adventist pastor, and he bought it a long time ago. I think in 1991, just right after Tim Berners-Lee created, he bought the domain name because that's the starting, right? And then later on, he just forgot about it. He just bought it, and a couple years later, he received a phone call, and seems like in the other end, somebody was trying to buy his domain name. And he said, no, it's not for sale because he wants to do it for ministry. Because Bible Info is a very nice name, right? BibleInfo.com. And that man was insisting, please sell it to me. And he registered only for about $8 and so on. And then he said, no, I'm not selling it. And he renew every year, pay $8, and so on. By the way, you cannot own domain name. You only can rent. Okay. So finally, that man up, the other end said, sir, we are willing to pay you $1 million for your domain name, BibleInfo.com. And said, yes, I know that you want to buy, but it is not for sale. That's why until now, BibleInfo.com is still owned by an Adventist pastor. But that name is very popular. He has visited by millions of people because it's easy to remember, right? BibleInfo.com. The price of that name is small, but the market price of that name is so high because you just imagine if you want to do business with that, you have millions of people can come and you can create more money, and people are willing to pay for $1 million for that, and that was like a couple of years ago. So that's just how important that the domain name is. And I don't want you to start looking for domain name and do a business. I'm just saying that how important a domain name is, especially if you already taken. That's it. I'll tell you a story about Adventist.org. That's a nice story about miracle story, but maybe I'll tell you next time. All right, so let's see. So that's how the web works. We watched that one already. So let's fill the blank. Let's see if you can remember what we have learned a little bit. The blank is a worldwide collection of blank, and the blank is the collection of blank documents worldwide. Let's try. What is the worldwide collection of what? And then what is the collection of what documents worldwide? Anyone? You done? Okay, what is the first one? What is the first one?
For me, I put the internet is a worldwide connection of network, webs, and the web is the connection of the electronic document worldwide.
Wonderful. That is correct, Micheline. Yes. So that is correct. So the internet is the worldwide collection of networks, and the web is collection of online digital documents worldwide. Okay, let's go. So nobody answer. Okay, notice that nobody answer. That's fine. This is just for fun. This is not a quiz. So now the internet for education. Oh, sorry, I did not. Okay, please answer this. How can we use the internet and the web for education? Anyone? So now let's connect to education. Just write one. How can we use the after knowing and learning about the internet and the web? How can we use the internet and the web for education? Okay, let's put the thinking cap and right there. I'll give you about 1 minute. All right, so there's already answers. For research, that's wonderful. Yes, research is one of the use of the internet for education, and then to be updated for necessary information to enhance curriculum and instruction. Okay, and then to help filter the information. Okay, to expose students to various culture and different ways of thinking. Okay, and so on. All right, so these are the use of the internet and the web. There are so many. For example, with the use of search engine, it can be a web portals to access to many information, isn't it? We learn about the explosion of information. In the internet can provide multimedia, graphics that you can use for your teaching. It can also provide audio for you to use. It can also provide video. It can provide virtual reality, etc. It can also provide educational resources, academic and administrative tasks. It can also be done for research. It can be done for instructional materials or activities like what we are doing right now. Can be done through the internet and the web, and can be used for communications, which is tool for sharing, for teachers, teacher to teachers, teacher to students, teacher to parents, and many more. There are many more things that the internet and the web can provide. I would like to make connections. This to the. I know that I have put that in the devotional, but I still want to repeat that the internet speed is known as the fastest speed by human. Why? Because the internet speed is using what they call it speed of light. Why? Because fiber optic cable is using lights, using glass, and it uses the lights to travel. That's why the internet is using the speed of the light, which is the fastest ever known speed of human. So when I look at the distance to the moon, if you use car, it will take about 100 miles to drive. When you drive 100 miles per hour, of course, don't drive that fast. That's too fast. It will take 100 days to the moon. If you take bullet train, it will take 40 days to the moon. If you take an airplane, it will take 17 days nonstop to fly to the moon. If you take rocket ship, which is the fastest speed that human can take, which is the rocket ship, it will take 10 hours actually to go to the moon. But of course, it takes longer because you need to brake, you need to put a brake and so on. While email, which is the fastest speed, which is speed of the light, it just takes 1.3 seconds to email somebody on the moon if there is somebody in the moon. Now, if you look at the distance to the sun, with the same speed, you can say that if you email somebody on the sun, it will take 8.3 minutes for the email to reach there, using the speed of light, which is the internet speed, and then another 8.3 minutes to reply, right? So it means it will take about 16 minutes for the email to go and come back. How about to the nearest sun? The nearest sun is about 25 million miles. That's the nearest, the Alpha Centauri, isn't it? If you use email to that nearest star, which is 25 trillion miles away, it will take 4.3 years for that email to reach there. And then if that person reply, it's another 4.3. So it means if you email somebody there, you will receive the response how many years? 8.6 years later. That's how far it is. And how much more heavens, which is God's dwelling place. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 2 said it's beyond the sky, beyond. It's farther than the Alpha Centauri. It's farther, it's beyond the Orion, right? It's Ellen G. White mentioned about that. How much more? But if you look at the book of Daniel, which is about prayer, Daniel 9 talks about Daniel's prayer to Israel. And in fact, if you read carefully that chapter, as soon as Daniel began to pray, God sent Gabriel, the angel, isn't it? And the speed of angel was so fast, isn't it? Within few minutes, Gabriel was there. Maybe he was waiting for Daniel to stop praying because maybe Daniel was still closing his eyes, and then maybe Gabriel said, "Hey, go ahead, finish your prayer. I'm here already." But Gabriel was there, according to the verse 21, that he flew from heaven. He flew directly from heaven because God sent him from heaven, and he was there within few minutes after Daniel's finished his prayer. But what is amazing is how fast the prayer is, isn't it? I understand the internet better now. I understand the prayer better now because of the internet, isn't it? In fact, the internet is a glimpse of God's network of prayer, isn't it? Before, people don't know that you can actually communicate at the distance. People just pray. But now, knowing the internet, we should believe in prayer, isn't it? Because it is God's technology. In fact, the internet is just a glimpse of God's prayers technology. So, and not only that, even before we pray, our God promised us that He will hear, and God will always hear, and that is very comforting, isn't it? Sometimes with the internet, sometimes it's too slow, isn't it? Sometimes our connection is down when we talk to our parents, to our loved ones, but connection to God is always there. You just need to speak and talk to Him. So what do we learn? Let's go back to what we have. Let me go back to the. Oops, sorry. Let me go back to the first thing that we do. You remember about what we have learned and what things that we. So from what we have learned, okay, we put it there. You put it there that the internet is a network. Okay, is this correct? The internet can be accessed by anyone. Yes, that's correct. Internet makes work easy. We don't talk about it, but I think that is correct, isn't it? Although not always better. The internet is a collection of media. Yes, you can upload things to the internet. I think this is correct. You can use internet for many different purposes. Internet is a door that opens us to different worlds and many. I think we have confirmed this, isn't it? How about the questions that we have? We ask this question, isn't it? Who designed and developed it? So we can answer, isn't it? Who developed it? Well, it was created by ARPA, right? The Advanced Research Project Agency is a U.S. agency created because of the survival. What are the limitations of the internet? There are no limitations, isn't it? It keeps on growing. How much information is on the internet? Oh, I do not know. There are so many. In fact, not only English, even in Chinese, even in different languages, isn't it? How does information travel from one screen to another? We have learned that through video, right? How it goes through oceanic cable, underwater through the oceans. Literally, there's cable pulled out across Atlantic Ocean, across Pacific Ocean, across Indian Oceans. Federal laws concerning internet. Oh man, internet is so fast that the law is following it. You know what I mean? People are waiting until there's an incident, then they make a law for it. So that's why people are still making laws for internet. They just have to wait if something happened, then they create a law. Because internet is new, isn't it? It's just recent. How many different internet browsers are there? Oh, there are a lot. But the most famous one, Google Chrome, and there is Mozilla Firefox, and there is Internet Explorer, and many other. When was it released? It was in 1969. So that's the answer. All right. So to end, I want to have a little game. Okay, just a little game. I want you to participate. Just let me go there. See if you remember what we have learned. So I want you to join this game. Let me just turn on. Okay, so there will be questions and you will answer, and then we will conclude this meeting today. All right, so there is one player. There is that's a nice character that you choose. By the way, do you want me to reveal the names? Or okay, maybe I don't need to reveal because right now there are no names. We're not trying to have a competition here. Okay, so now there are 4 of you joining. There are 2 turtles, 1 penguin, and 1 monkey. Nice choice of characters. I think I chose panda for myself. All right, so there are 5 anymore. Anyone would like to join? Okay, so we can start now. Let me click start game. Okay, one more person to answer. There's no time, by the way, but I noticed that one more person. There is one person who's not yet answering. Okay, what is the answer of this? Anyone? This is the internet, not the web. Okay, this is the internet. Okay, so let's go for the next question. Don't worry, this is not graded. Okay, just have fun. Yeah. What is a Sputnik? I hope you were listening. Okay, one more person not yet answered. Okay, everyone answered now. All right, Sputnik is a satellite. Okay, it's not a rocket, it's not a weapon, it's not a network. Sputnik is a satellite made by Russia. It was the first satellite ever made by human and sent to the space. That's why it was a slap to the US, right? That's why it started the race of this space war, and that's why the internet was created, because the fear that Russia will send can attack from the space. That's why the internet was created. All right, next question. The first internet ARPANET was invented for this main purpose. Okay, one person answer. Okay, don't forget to click. All right, so if you choose military defense or sharing information, you are correct. One of them, if you choose, it will be correct. So the ARPANET was invented for the purpose of military defense and sharing information. Okay. The next question, almost the last. I only put 5 questions. Who is the founder of the web and launched it in 1991? One more person not yet answered. One person still thinking. Okay, all right. So it is Tim Berners-Lee. You know, I hope you didn't choose my name, but please remember this name. Okay, Tim Berners-Lee created the web and gave it for free. Next and last question. All right, I think everybody answered. The answer is the prayer. Okay, everyone, thank you for joining. Congratulations to all of you. Okay, let's give hands to all of you. Don't worry, whoever be on the top, no names anyway. Okay, I did not put the names. You only see your name there, although I can see, but no names here about the one. So I hope you enjoy the learning. Oh, sorry, Don, you just joined. Hubert, there's a link that you have to join, and then so that you'll be able to participate. I think that's it. Sorry, I took it a little bit over time. I said 1 hour, but because we started late, that's why. I hope you. Oh yes, Abiola, you raise your hand. Anything you want to ask a question?
I noticed there's no devotion for this week.
Yes, I'll put it there. It's about planning. Yes, Thank you for reminding me, Sabuala. I'll put it up right now after this. Any other questions you have? Let me turn off just hold on, let me turn off because the sound is still there. Let me just turn off the session. Yes.
Yeah,
Question?
I just want to clarify. So, what is our regular time for Wednesdays? I'm so sorry because I have online classes in the evening, so I have to keep on adjusting. So, I need.
Sure.
Is it okay if we have an exact time?
6, I think.
Okay, so every Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Yes, for Philippine times. Although I'm still in US, my plane was canceled, so I missed home. It's 4 o'clock in the morning here, but yeah. So
Okay, 6 o'clock. Because I thought it's 7 today, so I have
sorry.
changed my schedule in my
Yes,
classes.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right, thank you.
yeah. Yeah, I made a little bit interactive so that you have experienced the virtual face to face. Yeah. Next time will be 2 weeks from now, so it's every 2 weeks. So that means that will be 2 weeks from now, same time, 6 Philippine time. Any other questions? Let me see the chat. What app did you use to create? Oh, it's just Nearpod. It's free, by the way. No need to pay. It's called nearpod.com. You just go there, create account as a teacher, and you can make us all of the things that I created. And in fact, there are more, but I cannot use all of the features. I just use what I need, what was needed. So you can create nearpod.com. Yeah. Any other questions? By the way, because I've decided that I will not put late anymore. If you submit, I will give full points. The problem is, if you're not submitting on time, I will not be able to look at it. I have to go back again, from week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. It's tiring to go back again, but I will do that. That's why if you didn't see my feedback, is because maybe I already finished and I move forward, but don't worry, I will not use the policy to cut. I know that you are all busy, but just please submit your assignment. Yes, Loverna, you have a question about assignment? You can talk, by the way,
Professor,
if you. Yeah.
about making web.
Yes. That's we are so sorry. Alwin forgot to put the forum. Now it's already there. That's why it created confusion. But one of you actually put it in the assignment too. The website, I think it was Sunli, I think the website. But now there is a dedicated forum for assignment 3, so that you can just post it to your website there. The link only. Yeah. So yeah, Sunli did. I saw it. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that there was no. And when people are asking, I don't understand. So then I check. Oh yes, it wasn't there. It's our fault. We did not upload it. Well, usually the online department upload it, but I should be the one to check, and I did not check because I'm still traveling. So yes, then I just check and it's not there. So feel free to put it there. Okay.
Okay. Is there required levels of pages that we need to do?
Like I said, you can just put even 3 pages. That's fine. Basically just the experience, and your submission in the forum is actually your submission for the hands-on assignments. Any other questions? And there are many apps or web out there that can help you make website. You can do the manual one with codes, the old style. You can also make using the easy to make website like Wix, Weebly, or there are many. There are so many now. You can choose. I'm just giving example, but there are so many examples out there how to make website. And today there are just so many. You can use WordPress. These are the free websites to make websites. So easy. You just log in and start creating it and using the theme, the templates. So yeah. Was mine okay, sir? Sandy, yes, that's fine, Sandy. I think you made a website about music instruments, right? That was nice. Sorry, I did not comment on that yet. Yeah. You know, when you're staying in someone's house, you're not so free. So I really want to go home. But my flight was canceled, so I'm still here. I miss Ayas. So I'll be traveling next week. So I'll be here next 2 weeks I'll be there in 2 weeks time. When we meet 2 weeks from now. Yeah. So I have to speak a little bit quiet now because it's 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning now. So yeah. It would be nice if educational, meaning that it's about something, a topic, maybe educational topic, something about your class. For example, Kara can use English, something about website about his English lesson. It can be done like that. Yes, you did already. Okay, I didn't see it. Yeah. So now there's a dedicated place for you to submit. Okay, I think we should end. I know that it's early morning, just like Anna. Anna, we are the same. You're in Utah. I'm in Denver. We are still in same time zone. So it's 5 in the morning now. Sabiola also. We are in the same time zone, right? Sabiola. Yeah. So, but Sabiola is earlier because your time is close to the New York time, I think. So it's already 7 in the morning there, I think. Yeah. I don't know about the rest of you. Yes. So thank you for coming. If you have no more questions, I hope you enjoy the session. It's recorded. You can still watch later on if you want to look at it. But I'll try to make it interactive like this next time, so that we can, all of us can participate. All right, so if no more questions, I will close with a prayer. Let's close with a prayer. Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you again for the privilege of using your technology, Lord, which is the prayer. And thank you for accepting our supplications, our praise. And this moment, Lord, we are so thankful that we can learn about the internet and the web and how we can use it for teaching. And may we be able to use this for your glory only. Thank you, Father, for being with my friends, wherever they are. And thank you for your blessings for us and our family. May you take care of us, Lord, and our family, wherever we are. We like to give our lives in your hand because we pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, everyone. See you again in 2 weeks' time. Last 2 weeks ago, we couldn't do it this way because we were in the airport. It would be quite weird to do that when people are around. So by the next 2 weeks, I'll be in IS already. Let's pray, no more cancellation. So many cancellation in US. I don't know why, because this is the first summer after pandemic, so people are traveling, so, and there are not enough pilots, not enough crew. That's why so many cancellations. I think it happens also in many places. All right, so see everyone. Let me just stop the recording.